GGB Coles Puppers, and I hope you guys are having a very Merry Christmas. Let's talk about the Vikings at Saints. This is going to be a very highly anticipated matchup. 3:30 p.m. Central, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So, as many of you know, I'm a huge Saints fan. Yeah, kind of. I love my Saints so much. I mean, I even have a Saints tree. It's gold, and I have Saints ornaments on it. Saints are my favorite NFL team by a lot. It's not. I'm very sad. We've slumped into a 2-game losing stretch, but there's so many things to be excited about. Drew Brees is back. But we've got to win against the Vikings. This is a must-win game for us. If we win out and the Packers lose out, which I know might not sound likely on its head, but we finished the season with the Vikings and Panthers, both very winnable football games, while the Packers end the season against the Titans and the Bears, both very losable football games. So I'm hoping and praying that they lose out, we win out, and we end up getting a nice gift, basically. I would like a nice gift to us. I just really want to make the postseason, guy. I want to be the 1 seed. I don't want to play the 7 seed because that's going to be like the Cards or the Bears, and that's a tough game. I don't want to play a tough game. Tough games are tough. But heading into this week, the Vikings, as many of you know, lost to the Bears last week, which is exciting because I don't think very much of the Vikings this year. I hope that they don't do it to us this year, although it's normally the postseason that you have to worry about the Vikings, because that's when the Vikings always hit us. We normally do fine in the regular season. I think we'll do fine again this time. News for the Saints, as many of you know, Michael Thomas went on IR, and so is Deontay Harris, so that's very disappointing. A lot of people were commenting about how Drew wasn't fantastic last game. I'd like to point out that entering this year, we had 6 receivers, right? For that game, after like halftime, he had one of those 6 receivers he had worked with. Michael Thomas was on IR, as many people know. Deontay Harris went on IR before the game, right? Marquez Callaway was on IR. That left you with Benny Fowler Jr. has been hurt for a decent while. But basically, you had Emmanuel Sanders and Traquan Smith before the game. And everyone was like, that's okay. You just really need to receive. Traquan Smith went down. So that means you have one receiver, Emmanuel Sanders, really. You have Lil Jordan Humphrey was fine. I mean, he did a good enough job. But what I'm excited, I hope Traquan Smith comes back this week. Like, that's a must. But Marquez Callaway might come back from this week with injury. And if we can have those 3 guys, this will be an easier game. Jared Cook will hopefully ball out again. He had a pretty good game. He had a fantastic game against the Eagles. He had an okay game against the Chiefs. Hopefully, Lil Jordan Humphrey. And Lil Jordan Humphrey again showed that he is a tool. He can be used as a tool. Tommy Lewis is absolute and utter garbage. I don't know why he's still on our team because he never does anything good. Juwan Johnson is a receiver that I kind of like. He's big, but if he can figure out, he just needs to catch the ball. Stop dropping easy catches, Juwan. Another thing I'm worried about is some injuries on the defensive side of the ball. If many don't know, but Marcus Williams is a very good safety who's been with our team a long time. He had an ankle injury and had to leave the game against the Chiefs, which really sucked. I hope he's healthy again for the Vikings. And Trey Hendrickson, a guy that was snubbed, by the way, for the Pro Bowl. He's a half sack behind T.J. Watt for the NFL leading in sacks, and somehow he didn't make the Pro Bowl. Come on, that's so bad. That's such a huge snub. Like, I understand, like, Calvin Ridley, because Justin Jefferson's been good, and I understand Ryan Tannehill, because despite being on a very losing team, Deshaun Watson is having a fantastic year. But Trey Hendricks, we're talking about a guy that's almost leading the NFL in sacks. Like, if he has a good game against the Vikings, he will be leading the league in sacks. Actually, not just a good game. He has to have a sack to be leading the league in sacks for a couple of days. So you need to stay ahead of T.J. Watt. But it's going to be an absolute travesty if the guy that's leading the league in sacks isn't going to make the Pro Bowl. It's insane. But he might not be healthy for this game, which I'm worried about because I'd love a great pass rusher on the other side of Cam Jordan. My Marcus Davenport's a good. He's actually really good. I actually really like Marcus Davenport because he does provide a spark to our defense. But I love that we have 4 solid defensive ends, and Carl Granderson has actually stepped up, which he's questionable, and I hope he plays. Those are the 3 defensive players I'm worried about not being able to play. I'm also worried about Andrews Pete, who's listed as questionable. He's a left guard who's actually made the Pro Bowl this year. He's very good. But on the other side of things, as long as Nick Easton or Andrews Pete is healthy, I feel like we'll be fine. We're having a good year, a really good year. I think we'll win this one, even if some of these guys aren't healthy. But really, we need the receivers. Emmanuel Sanders, Traquan Smith, and Marquez Callaway has to play in this game. Anyways, I think the Saints, as I said before, are a better football team. I think they're going to crush the Vikings. Anyways, give me the Saints here to win and cover.